So as we know, Liverpool is just filled with some incredible creative businesses. And one of those businesses, to me, that creativity shone through when they first launched, and it still does today. And it's perfect to be chatting to this next lady this weekend for Halloween. And with Lucy from Shiverpool, of course, those famous ghost tours in Liverpool. We're going to talk about 2020, but let's get some positive things out first. Let's talk about Halloween, the ghost tours, why Liverpool is kind of the perfect place for what you do on Halloween weekend.
So obviously Liverpool has incredible assets, like architecturally, the folklore, the stories, the history, and that's at the very foundation of what Shiverpool's about. It's about celebrating that culture and that heritage. And we celebrate it through the prism of ghost stories. And obviously Liverpool's got an incredible history from the medieval period, around the sort of sites of St. Nicholas's Church, the oldest institute in the city, to the tower buildings, and then obviously around the Georgian Court you've got the cathedrals. It's truly spectacular, and the stories behind these buildings are just as juicy and delicious, and Shiverpool celebrates that through street theatre, through the age-old art of storytelling, and really it's about bringing people together and celebrating the city as it is. And generally, we have people from all over the world joining us, but for this time of year in 2020, it's a Liverpool audience, and we're just going to keep the beating heart of Liverpool alive through our tiny tours.
Do you know what? There's so many tours now in Liverpool. There's a tour for almost everything, and some of them are fantastic. There's a movie tour, which is the real movie, which is there's tours that are running. The Cavern have got their own tour. Shiverpool was, if not it was one of the first kind of proper walking tours. But also, it's so unique what you guys do and what you develop. And I've met you many times. You're always changing that and improving that as well, aren't you? That kind of interactive way you do these tours.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to always innovate, and there's such a wonderful layered history to Liverpool, and there's always something new. And whenever you're meeting up with audiences, they're always eager to share their own stories and their own experiences, and that brings that personal sort of element. And it's about sharing stories, not just the guides that they've got, obviously their scripts and they've got their performance that's part of that, but the fact that you're dealing with a live audience, and you're dealing with not just the audience on your tour, but you're dealing with like the people on the street as well, and you never know what's going to happen. You never know, someone's going to stop and sort of interact with you and maybe tell the audience and the guides something that they know. And it's that wonderful kind of like, it's that sort of unknown element that makes Shiverpool really special and unique.
You are at the forefront yourself, and Johnny, we've got to mention
of course,
you're at the
founder of Shiverpool,
tourism in Liverpool. You've obviously seen a big dip, you've had to evolve. Just tell us what it's been like and what it's like right now.
So when it obviously the lockdown was announced, it was really quite a surprise. We had a brilliant summer planned. We had people from all over Europe for the most part. We have really great relationships with people in and schools in Europe, from Switzerland to France, Spain, the Netherlands, Germany, and all of these big private bookings that that are really important for our business were just wiped. And then obviously people think that Shiverpool is like a Halloween thing, but actually as the city has matured and grown, it's right the way throughout the year now. So it's not just for Halloween, it's not just for the winter months. Our summer's really important. So that was a bit of a shock, but it was nice to connect with people from across the world and sort of manage those cancellations and keep those relationships going. It's really important. The relationships are so important with a small company like ours. So that was had its downsides and its positives as well. And then we opened on the 1st of August, and it was just tiny steps, small steps. Let's try and build the confidence, obviously working with the guides, going through our health and safety. And to be honest, we're lucky because we are outdoors, and got to count our blessings that we were able to follow guidance and deliver our activities safely. And then obviously it was about trying to increase confidence for the busy season. So we engaged with Foursquare health and safety peeps who've been brilliant. I want to give a really big shout out to them. They've been really helpful, really great value for money, and helping a little business to kind of make all of its sort of systems really robust and all that. So, and we obviously the Shiverpool map that we launched last year, commissioned by Shiverpool for a piece of artwork that was created by Stephen Walter. So that's been something that we can offer people. Look, maybe you can't come out, but we've got the Shiverpool map, and you can take it home and enjoy reading it and use it as a springboard to learn about the history and mystery of Liverpool's heritage. So that's been great. I've got a little thing that says little ghost card, and but
You know
yeah,
what? The map is superb. I got my map this summer, which you kindly sent over. It's up in the office, and then we had to evacuate the office again. So one of the things I'm missing right now is my Shiverpool map, but I'm looking forward to getting back to seeing that. Halloween has taken a bit of a dip this year. This is we'd normally never ever be able to speak to Lucy the day before Halloween, so we're really lucky in that respect. But that's because it is quieter this year, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's we've got 4 scheduled activities running. Obviously they're all sold out now, but they're we're going to enjoy Halloween. We're going to make sure that whatever it is that we do it really well, and make sure that everybody feels that sort of spirit of the season, and that they enjoy themselves, because that's one of the biggest things that I've noticed with the audiences, that they are craving some sense of normality. They're craving something that's not on the telly, that it's not Netflix, it's not they're not on their phone. They're sort of unplugged, and they've tuned into their surroundings. And I think if anything, Shiverpool, given the fact all the theatres and the music venues have been closed, we have been at least been able to offer people something a little bit different, and just to give them that opportunity to just let go and sort of be transported for an hour and a half into another world that's on their doorstep, and it's safe, and it's enjoyable, and you can celebrate the seasons. That's one of the great things about Shiverpool on this time of year, that you can celebrate the change of the seasons. Autumn's so gorgeous, and the city of Liverpool is just spectacular, and that's one of the great traditions. I think that we can enjoy is going on a good old little ghost tour and enjoy listening to about the history and those amazing sort of folklore and ghostly tales. I think people just love it. It'll never go out of fashion, I don't think.
And you know what? If you're watching this and you're in Liverpool and you've never done it, and you see them tours, like I mentioned before, I've done this tour. Just do it, because it's just such a different night out. And certainly at the minute, we're all just so fed up of sitting here and watching Netflix. This is something that's outside, as Lucy said, some great measures in place as well to keep us safe. Just get it booked through November or December, and support a great local business. We got to talk Halloween, Lucy. You see these ghostly appearances every night on your tours. Just tell us about Liverpool and that kind of spiritual side, because there are so many stories. We put an article up this weekend with just 5 ghosts that we've heard about. Tell us why there is this kind of, I don't know, link to the other side in Liverpool.
Well, there's something that I think, even whether you're a skeptic or whether you really believe in the supernatural or anything, there's that mystery connected to it. And there's something about a ghost story that it's sort of like a motivation to keep you walking around the tour. There's that wonderful kind of buzz and the intrigue, and that idea of what if, and that sort of mysteries always sort of captivates people. And the stories around the city are really quite incredible. Obviously the famous one about Will Mackenzie. I always talk about Mackenzie. Everybody, all the Scousers know about Mackenzie, or most of them anyway. When they're on the tour and we start with the Mackenzie story, you see them all gleefully looking at each other and sort of getting ready to listen to this sort of famous tale of Mackenzie and his dirty deal with the devil. That's and obviously his pyramid tomb, it's so atmospheric, and and just rich in terms of its visual there on Rodney Street, this gorgeous sort of crooked, cracked smile. And then you got the old church, and next to it, you got this shadowy graveyard. I mean, just people love it. Like I said, whether or not you believe in ghosts or not, it's fun and it's exciting. And then, obviously you've got, and we have exclusive access to this space. We haven't opened it yet because of the difficulties with social distancing, but the Dead House, or formerly known as the Dead House underneath St. Nick's, it's an old morgue. Obviously St. Nick's is an incredible place. If you've never been there, go on into the church. It's a little sanctuary on the shoreline, and it is the oldest institute in the city, but beneath it you have this, through a trapdoor, you have this incredible space, subterranean space, known as the Dead House, as an old morgue. It actually features in Melville's book Redburn about Liverpool. So that, again, is another sort of intriguing space. And then, the tower buildings, goes right back to medieval times. And as you probably know, the tower buildings is a stunning structure. Like, it's just gorgeous. But to learn about the history behind it, people don't tire of it. They want to hear more, And then obviously at the end of the Hope Street tour that we're able to deliver, we go into the underbelly of the Anglican Cathedral. So you have this wondrous sort of chasm in the middle of the city, this bustling city, and yet this sunken necropolis, the city of the dead, is there for everybody to enjoy. It's one of Liverpool's most beautiful public gardens. But at night it has a specific sort of atmosphere to it. Nearly 50,000 souls are buried there. Some of the most incredible figures in Liverpool's history, from Robert Kane, obviously the famous Kane's Brewery, the Edward Rushton, who founded the blind school in Liverpool, he's buried there. Kitty Wilkinson, the saint of the slums, William Brown, all of these amazing figures in Liverpool's history, and they're all buried down there. And whenever you have the chance to, whether that's in the day or in the night, go and explore these places, people, and enjoy that rich sort of cultural sort of space that Liverpool has, especially in times like these when you're restricted, you can't go abroad, whatever. Step into your neighbour's back garden, step into the city centre. There's so many things to be to be explored and enjoyed. And now I'm rambling now, but yeah.
No, do you know what? Every word I was clinging on to then. And that is what Shiverpool is all about. Just go and book one of these tours, because all of that and more you can discover with Shiverpool, running right the way through the year. Lucy, I absolutely admire yours and John's passions for Shiverpool, the tour, for the business that you've made for your visitors, but also for the city. I think you do so much for Liverpool in terms of what you deliver with these tours. So thank you for that, and keep going. And I'm going to book on now. She took me down to that morgue under St. Nick's just a couple of months ago, and I don't think I've ever got over it. So I look forward to them in 2021, those tours. Thank you so much, Lucy.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.